What is going on, guys? How's it going today? Woo! Glad to have you on this lovely, lovely Friday evening. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Oh, I am ready to hit some margins today. Let me tell you, guys, today is a special stream because we hit 4,000 subscribers on YouTube today. So a little bit of a round of applause for that one. Nothing too crazy, but still a nice accomplishment to hit another 1,000 here, guys. Thank you all for the continued support. Really do appreciate it. Now, on top of that as well, guys, we do have a bunch of stuff to get into today. We have been tearing it up this week on the Grand Exchange. You know, there's been a lot of controversy with this new update, what it's going to bring, how it's going to change things, and honestly, right now, I've been doing pretty well, so you know, I do think that will change as time goes on and the update is more adapted to, but for now, we're doing fine. Anyway, guys, just a shout out to everyone who is here. We have XY saying, let's go. Good to see you. SS Kappa, good to see you as well. He says, have to deal with your flipping again. Feels bad, man. Hey, come on, dude. We're having a good Friday. You try to put me down like that. Feels bad, man. Fright Leap as well. Everyone, there's so many people in here. Osrs Wolf, some guy. Fishy Galore. Oh, good to see you as well, Fishy. And, yeah, let's make some money today, guys. Super excited to just test out some margins today, see what it looks like, and, of course, enjoy a nice Miller Lite at the same time tonight. Now, that's what we're talking about here with the 4K subscribers. Now, let's go ahead and get into some flips here. I just want to start off right off the bat with a nice little twisted bow. I've been having a lot of success with the higher margin items recently, and not necessarily finding a good margin on them, but what has been nice is I've kind of been able to flip a lot of these high margin items without too much competition for a couple million. I mean, it's nothing crazy. I wish I was making a little bit more on them, kind of like the past, but at least we know where the margins are. They're pretty easy to follow as we go through and flip this time. So, you know, it's, you know, the update has positives and negatives, I guess, as of right now. But anyway, how are you guys adjusting to the update? Is it going well? Is it not going well? Let me know how your flipping journey has been impacted by this thing because, trust me, I know it's maybe not the easiest to get adjusted on that. Double dare a druidic price check? No freaking way, man. We're not doing any of those. I think price checks are honestly a thing of the past. Oh, the plugin's not up. Sorry, guys. I think plugins are a thing of the past, to be quite honest, because now that real-time price data is available, you really don't have to do a price check on anything, which is, in my opinion, a great thing. Just looking through, looking at some items here, trying to find what's going to look good for us today. We're going to check out the Arcane Spirit Shield, I think. It's looking pretty good right now. We'll go ahead and flip that thing for, I would say, it's probably like a 250k margin, which is a lot less than it used to be, but still a relatively good profit nonetheless, especially with this new meta. Tons of competition now with flipping, and you have to be very active on top of your flips. So you've got to keep your eye on things. You got to keep your eye on the prize. Get some GP. You guys know how it is. We have Fat Joey saying, hey, what plugin does that green/red/blue aura around the items like that? Oh, that is, what is that called? That is called item marker or something. I forget what it's called, but I'll find out for you, Fett. I know you're in the Discord, so I will send you a message as soon as I figure that out. Now, we do have 605 mil left. Now, I definitely want to deploy as much money onto the Grand Exchange as we can today, and the Justiciar face guard actually looks decent today, so let's give that a shot as well. My strategy has definitely developed a lot with this new flipping meta, guys, and what I've been finding is these higher margin items actually tend to do a little bit better, although you're making less profit than you used to make on them. They do, you know, they move about at the same speed, but at the same exact time, they have less competition than those really, really high traded items. So it's the only thing you can flip that gives you some sort of sanity with this item. Let's go ahead and do, trying to look for some decent items for us to flip here today. Just going through my list and trying to figure out what's going to be good, what's going to be bad, and, you know, putting it all together, seeing if we can make a little bit of a profit. Light Up the L says, yo, it's Lewintag. Good to see you, Lewintag. We also have a ton of questions coming in here as well, so let's get into them today. But first, let's stop being lazy and let's get our flips listed and ready to go here. Definitely don't want to slack too much on that. Okay. Just trying to find something that's going to be decent for us today, guys. Hold on one second. Unfortunately, we don't have enough to flip an Elysian, so we're not going to be able to go into that, but it does look like it has a decent margin for us. Now, I guess we'll try the Volatile Orb. It does look like it has a good margin, but keep in mind that the Volatile Orb is a very low volume item, right? So even if this thing does show a good margin, it's not like you're going to trade this thing in 2 seconds. It usually takes a little bit of time to actually get one of these moving back and forth. We have SS Kappa saying, I feel that higher cash stacks, it doesn't impact us as much, but lower cash stacks could be struggling. Absolutely, Kappa. And I actually haven't really explored smaller cash stacks yet with this new flipping meta. And it's going to be something that I'm going to look forward and look further into as I'm going ahead, right? Because if you can't teach flipping at the most basic level, then it's very hard for people to learn how to get involved and how to actually make money using it. So that's why it's best to teach those low risk, easy flipping strategies in the beginning, get people accustomed to how it works, and then just kind of show them the ropes from there. Now, we do look like we have a decent margin on the Elysian Spirit Shield. I'm actually going to turn around and cycle this Twisted Bow into the Elysian. Now, you'll see how frequently I'm cycling around my items. That's because I really want to hit these items, right? And with so much competition on the Grand Exchange now, you really have to be quick in the way that you move your offers around to try to actually hit items to make profit. So if something's not buying in a couple minutes, you really got to stay on top of it and say like, hey, we need to adjust the price on this. For example, the Arcane Spirit Shield already has increased in price a little bit. So that means I'm going to go back in for a higher price on that Arcane Spirit Shield. And we'll try to get another one for about, it looks like 50k up from our previous offer. And you can just see that how fast items move now because margins are just, everybody has access to them and everybody can take advantage, right? So it's definitely one of the downsides, I would say. Now, there is an upside to this new update, okay? And I will say that I think this is going to be a big upside. The data that is going to come out of this update for sites like GE Tracker, Platinum Tokens, even the Osrs Wiki itself, the graphs that we're going to get are going to be very accurate, which is going to make a big difference for longer term trading on the Grand Exchange. So overnights, passive flips, investments, they're going to become a lot easier because we're going to have accurate data graphs. I cannot wait to make some videos analyzing the new data, going through my thoughts on all these updates once they go through. It's very exciting stuff. OSR's Fright Leap says, do you have a list of items for 100 to 400 mil bank? We have a list in our Discord group, which has some items that you can flip with a 100 to 400 mil stack. If you want some more ideas, though, Fright, you can go check out the channel. We have a 100 mil flipping guide that you can use, and we have a 10 to 100 mil flipping series, which will give you some items to flip with a 100 to 400 mil stack. Where do I find this new update? Fishy, it's not really a RuneScape official update. It is a RuneLite update. So you can find it on the OSRS Wiki because they partnered with them to make this update. I don't really know the exact place, but all I know is the OSRS Wiki has the item prices. So if you're looking for the item prices, the OSRS Wiki would be the best place to get them. Still looking through stuff here, trying to find some good margins for us, guys. It's not that simple today, it looks like. There's a lot of competition right now. We haven't really gotten anything to move quite yet. So, again, please excuse me while we hunt some items here. We'll go ahead and try to get maybe two of the Sand Guesties. They look decent right now. Also, maybe we'll try some of these Carol's leather sets. They actually look pretty good right now as well. Now, this would... See... I'm basically cycling through completely new items that I would not really trade on a normal flipping session. And the reason that is because they look like they have a good margin on the site. So I'm just trying to get in, secure that margin as quick as I can, and then get out of the flip. And I think that's kind of the new meta. You have to try to snipe items right away. It's very annoying, but I think it actually could be very lucrative if you get it right. And let's see, we got to get one more item in here as well. We need something that's a little bit cheaper that's not going to run us as much money today. So maybe let's go ahead and try... sorry, I have flipping lists up on the side that I use, and I'm just trying to get some items from the list. We could try something a little bit lighter in the cash stack, maybe something like the Dragon Pickaxe. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully you're having a great day. I know I am. We're going to crack this beer open in celebration. in celebration of 4,000 subscribers, guys. Thank you so much. Let's get into it today. Let's have a good flipping session today, and let's just have a good time. Let's talk about the new meta. Let's talk about life. Anything you guys want to talk about, I am here to answer your questions. And especially if you're someone who's a little bit new to flipping, maybe you just started to learn how to flip as this new update came in. If that's the case, you are in for a wild ride. It's not the easiest for me even to adjust to this new update, so I'm still learning how to do it. I'm still learning the ropes, and of course, when I nail my strategy down, I will make a video for you guys to share it with you. Anyway, we have SS Cappy says, if your cash stack is small, I'd advise just buying bonds with in real life money until your cash stack can be until you can easily keep up the bond with your cash stack. I mean, that's some decent advice as long as you can afford it in real life. I definitely agree. I think in the beginning of your RuneScape career, shelling out the money for membership is actually worthwhile, because that's actually what's going to get you invested into the game and actually have you playing long term. If you're a new player, you don't really want to have to worry about financial wellness in a game, unless that's kind of what you're about. All I do is focus on money making in RuneScape because that's what I like doing, which I know sounds weird to a lot of you, but it's just my favorite thing. I love flipping on the exchange. I treat it like a real stock market, and I always have a good time doing it. So that's why I'm so intrigued to cover this new flipping meta, especially considering that it hasn't been that bad for a lot of players. So I mean, I've seen people making a lot of money here recently, so I'm just surprised. Saints Fan in Van says, I've been making bank since the Wiki update. I think people are still adjusting to how the Wiki update is actually working and actually getting used to the prices. And because of that, there's a lot of volume on the exchange. Xavier says it is also tracked even when using the vanilla client. As far as I know, there is no way to hide your trade prices. I think it's only tracked on the vanilla client because people using the RuneLite client buy and sell the items, right? So if you have an item on the vanilla client and you sell it to someone who has RuneLite, that's still going to track the price. Alharith says, yo, good to see you, Alharith. He says, also, I disagree. Don't buy bonds with in real life money. That removes the grind from the game, which if you don't enjoy, then you won't enjoy when you're rich. But I think that's true, but I think paying for membership with real money is different, because then you're not actually, it doesn't really affect your GP. It just gives you access to the full game. But I do know what you're saying by it potentially ruining the grind for you. See how active I'm on my flips now? That's the thing about the new meta is you can't list a flip and sit back and just wait for it to buy. It's not going to happen if you're an active flipper. I mean, it could if you wait long enough, but that's not really my point. It's just when we used to active flip on here, we'd set our offers, we'd wait a while, and things would fill out. We wouldn't have to worry too much because the prices were hidden. But now it's everyone's got access to that price, right? So you have to stay really on top of your items, and it's already going poorly. It's very difficult to do. Still waiting on that Elysian. It doesn't say the price has moved yet, so we're going to be very patient with that one. Also, we just got that Ancestral Robe on him as well. Could be a good margin on that as long as we can sell this off here. It almost feels like in World of Warcraft where you basically undercut scan the auction house every 20 minutes. Absolutely, especially on some of the, in retail World of Warcraft especially, because there's so many trades being made on there. A little bit more opportunity in Classic if you ask me, but Anyway, this is not a World of Warcraft auction house stream. This is a RuneScape Grand Exchange flipping screen. Guys, thank you for joining me on this lovely, lovely Friday evening. I hope you're having a good time. Definitely drop a like if you are. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitch if you're watching us over on there. Maybe a subscription on YouTube would help as well. We just passed 4,000 subscribers, so that's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie, I'm very happy about that. And we're 1,000 away from 5,000, so we're coming up on that very quickly. Also, like, it feels like I'm really tiny. Like, the microphone is so far up today. We have some guy, and he's saying, the real issue is that the update is so fast that once you finally find somebody that dumped the item, it literally becomes the price for everybody else. They need to add a cooldown to the feature. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but then if you, I don't know, it's tough, right? Because if you put a cooldown on it, then it kind of ruins the point of having real-time pricing. So, I don't know. Should it be done? Let's go ahead and try to flip some other items here, guys. These Carol's leather tops, or not leather tops, the sets, are not really working out for us. Also, the Volatile Orb, not going to really give us a run for our money here today, so we're going to adjust some stuff around. We're going to go in on the Bandos Tacits next. Definitely struggling today. You can see that not a lot of stuff is going through today compared to our previous days. We still haven't had any successful flips as of right now, and I think we're about, what, 15 minutes in? That's kind of bad, guys. We got to pick it up. Gonna rotate into some maybe like highly or more traded items compared to what we were trading before. We're trying to hunt some big ticket items right now, which doesn't really look like it's going our way. So I'm gonna see if I can find something that's just a little bit higher of a volume for us and try to get that moving back and forth. Some of this stuff looks decent, but it's a little too expensive. We'll try the crossbow here. Can't get that many. We did flip the Elysian. Very, very nice. We're going to go in and try to flip another one of those. Not an insane margin on that. Less than a mil, which is very, very, very small for an Elysian. So we'll try to stretch this next one, but it's always tough to stretch margins when someone is, well, when these real-time prices are here, right? Because someone will always list above you or below you. Boris King says, can we expect a video about overnight flipping? We really need one. Boris, I have 2 overnight flipping guides on the channel. I don't know if you've seen them yet, but we will definitely be putting out a new overnight flipping guide that is going to use the real-time information. So a lot of our old guides are going to get revamps because of this new information. So you can definitely look forward to that over the next couple of weeks. You got to give me some time to, well, the first thing I'm trying to do is, it's going to take me like a week to figure out the strategy. Now, I do have a good idea in mind of how I think new flipping is. And where I think the direction will go with it. So I will make a video on that hopefully this weekend and try to get that out to you guys maybe next week. But I have tons of ideas now that this new update's in. There's new content on the horizon, right? At this time, you can just forget about stretching margins, just follow the trends on the item. I do agree with you for most items, but what people don't realize is just because you have real-time price information, right, on stuff like the Inquisitor Mace or the Elysian, well, these are still very low-volume items, right? So just because you're listed above or below margin does not mean that the offer will not fill over a certain time frame. So I think that's very important to keep in mind. I still think you can make a decent margin on a lot of this stuff. You just have to have a little bit of patience sometimes. But I'll tell you what, we don't have patience on this face guard right here. Definitely need to up the offer on that a little bit. You can see, like, if you're looking at prices right now, you can just see things are just jumping up so quickly. It is insane. We did get another Elysian. We're going to turn around and sell that again. And again, this Elysian is listed above margin, the margin that I'm looking at, and I hope it will sell. So we'll take a look here. Xavier says, I agree, but it's peak. Yeah, that's true. It is peak hours, so that is a good point. I want to see you stream with 50 to 100 mil. We could do it, Fishy. It would definitely be tough. I definitely have not learned how to do it yet. Maybe we can do that tomorrow, actually. Would you guys want to see that tomorrow? Let's go ahead and list these tacits back on the exchange. Doing very well right now. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Do appreciate it. Be sure to drop a like if you're enjoying this live stream. Seriously, dude, it helps me out a ton. It helps me out a ton. So definitely drop a like. And we just hit 4,000 subscribers today, guys. So thank you to all you for subscribing. That's the theme of today, is the 4,000 subscriber special. So welcome, everybody. Grats on the 4K. Thank you, Gyro Man. Do appreciate that, dude. No luck on the tool yet, Scape? Oh, no, I have the tool up on the side. Heck. Thank you for that, man. But yeah, no, I have it up. It's just not on screen. How are you, man? Meese, I'm doing good, man. How are you, man? Hopefully you're doing good as well. 1 beer for every 1K subs. Dude, we need to do another stream where it's one, we did 1 beer for 1 mil profit. That was, that got a little crazy, let me tell you. Dude, this Arcane Spirit Shield is way too competitive right now. I have no idea why. We're going to rotate out of that. Also, we have been sitting on this Sanguesti for a little bit too long, so we're going to try to adjust that around as well. Still looks like we're on margin for it, though, so I don't really understand why that's not working out. We do have the crossbow ready to go back, though. Fenris says, been a minute. Good to see you're doing well. What's up? Good to see you, Fenris, man. Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks, man. Big update in RuneScape, though. Real-time prices have made it into websites, so it definitely changes the way that we flip here, and I'm still getting used to it, but I am doing well, getting used to the new flipping meta, and it hasn't... It did discourage me a little bit in the beginning, but I do see the potential. The potential for a new meta is definitely there. I think you can still make profit flipping. I think in the very beginning, it's going to be ultra competitive. I also think people will get frustrated and they'll stop flipping because this is just, they have to manage their flips so often now. They're either going to do that or move to flipping longer time frames. And I see a little bit of that in myself as well. Maybe not active flipping as much anymore and trying to focus on larger gains over longer time frames. I can definitely see some content, about that on the horizon as well. Just because, how often can you, constantly adjust margins on the Grand Exchange, right? Sometimes it just gets insane. Once these prices are integrated into the RuneLite client, we might see some challenging times. I will put it that way. Gotcha, I can only do up to 100 mils, so I don't know how it performs with a massive stack. Well, it's looking good for me right now, so... Fenris says, new meta, I'm out of the loop. Basically, Fenris, so the Osrs Wiki, what they did was they made it now so every single trade is tracked through RuneLite, right? So every buy and sell through RuneLite, it updates the price information, so basically anybody has access to any margin at any point in time. So... it's become ultra competitive to actually flip items, and it's crazy. The whole entire style of flipping has changed. So, I think a lot of people are still getting used to it. I'm definitely still getting used to it. And all the tools haven't even been implemented yet, right? Like GE Tracker hasn't taken this data in yet, although they're working on it. And they're actually making some good progress, I believe, on that front. So we should expect to see it soon. They did put out an update saying, hey, we have this ready to go. Should be up by like the next week or so, which is awesome. So good to see that stuff. Great tools coming our way as flippers in old school RuneScape. We'll have to see, though, how crazy this new meta gets. We'll put it that way. Should be able to sell this for a pretty penny here. Hopefully grab a couple coins on that. We did get the crossbow off as well. I do imagine the price probably got updated here. The margin definitely came very far down, but I'm still going to list above margin because I think we can actually sell that for that price. It seems like someone kind of dumped a few. Not everyone uses RuneLite, though, so it's not accurate, right, says Wuggy. That's what you'd think, but it's extremely accurate, right? Because the majority of the player base uses RuneLite, and I think it's like 40,000 people daily use RuneLite, which is almost half the RuneScape population. So we have a lot of people on mobile as well, but it is extremely accurate compared to the existing data sources that we had beforehand. Before this, we only had access to OS Buddy and their price data, which was, and OS Buddy is only like 10% of the RuneScape player base, if even. So the new data is very accurate. It's very up to date, real time. You see prices changing every minute, which is, I mean, it's crazy. It literally changed the entire, like my entire presence on RuneScape with flipping has completely changed. I mean, you guys know me, okay? I've covered flipping content for a long time, and this is by far the biggest change that I've ever seen on the flipping front in my entire time. And on top of that as well, yeah, even if the seller doesn't use RuneLite, the buyer maybe will, or vice versa. Very good point from XY on that as well. But it's, sorry, are you afraid of flipping bots surging in popularity? Fenro, I definitely am. I do think that's going to be a very common thing we're going to have, especially because you can make bots very aggressive on margins, right? You could have one bot that lists very high, other ones that list low for dumps. You can have bots fluctuate around that margin constantly and really control items. That being said, they were kind of doing that before, so I don't know if we're just going to see more of it now. We'll have to see. It's a whole different story, you know what I mean? Keep in mind, all it takes is one person to buy an item to expose the margin. Exactly. And that's why it's been a little bit of a pain trying to flip some of these things, but so far it hasn't been horrible, so. I do believe this Elysian's going to sell. It's now on margin, so it looks like someone sold like right beneath us, so I think we're going to be okay on that Elysian. The Spectral, we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Wow, it's already moved, man. It's crazy how fast these things move. I am having a very tough run today, guys. Keep in mind, this is like prime time to flip, so, I mean, I'm not surprised we're having a tough time. Like, Friday night, it must be the most popular time to play this. Like, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is usually peak time when I play, and during my, time zone or whatever. So, right now, it's peak, and it's a Friday, right? So, it's the weekend, lots of people getting on, definitely struggling a lot tonight. That's okay. We'll keep powering through, though. See if we can get some profits coming in here in the short term. Volume's going to make a big difference, guys. I mean, now more than ever, flipping at off peaks is going to be crucial in your profit strategy because you want less competition on your items. The less competition you have, the easier it is going to be to secure your flips, the more money you're going to make per hour, right? So it's really going to be key to flip during those off-peak times. Moses' father says, do you still price check by buying and selling? Great question, Moses. I do not. I think honestly, in my opinion, margin checks are a thing of the past. You can still margin check high volume items like sharks, monkfish, manta rays, things that aren't going to cost you that much to margin check. But honestly, margin checks, they're gone. I mean, I think you just use website data now. Will be nice when GE Tracker implements this data, or we have another tool that implements the data, because that way you can kind of see where the item is trending in a little bit easier of a view. But in the short term, a lot of people have made items to flip certain things and, flipping lists and stuff like that. So it's, it's just a new meta. I mean, I don't know if it's good or bad. It's just new. I think a lot of people will, I will say, I think a lot of people, for my content specifically, I think it's kind of a negative effect, just because I love active flipping, getting on here with you guys and just talking through my strategies and whatnot. And I think that this update specifically hurts active flipping. Now, I think people with larger cash stacks will still fare fairly well. People with larger cash stacks aren't going to make as much active flipping anymore, but they can still make a decent profit per hour to make flipping worth it. I'm not sure if that's the case at these low ends anymore. I really don't. I have to test it out myself, see if I can make that same profit per hour. Maybe if the it might be worth it if you change the strategy. I don't know if focusing on high volume flips specifically, only that is really what you want to do anymore. I mean, it might be that you want to flip things like barrows with a 5 mil stack these days, because you have access to that margin. You don't have to pay for it, and you're going to make more on that than high volume. I really don't know. I have to test it out. But it's feels like my world's gone upside down in this sense. But regardless, though, I think active flipping is hurt. I don't think it is ruined, but I think it's hurt. That's all I have to say. And it stinks for my content, right? Because I like to get on here with you guys, talk through flipping. I also think less people are going to be encouraged to flip. They're going to see how competitive it is. They're not going to want to flip it. And I've been sitting on this ancestral bottom for way too long. This is this is why I hate it, because things just change so fast. And I'm trying to talk with you guys, have a conversation. I can't even get through that, man. Anyway, we're going to relist this. I don't actually know if we're on a loss for that or what the deal is there. Yeah, we will be at a slight loss on that one. Could hold it, but what's the point? Flipping is, flipping as it was will still exist, but flipping rares will become more the go-to, I'm guessing. Robert L. also saying, yo, good to see you, Robert. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get some third age going. Heck no, dude. That's going to take way too long. But yeah, I think flipping rares will be more of a common thing as we're going forward, because it's actually like feasible and not that difficult to do with a larger cash stack in this new meta. This used to not be the case. You used to have to hunt these items, hunt the margin on them, try to avoid a margin check if at all possible. That's not really the case anymore. So again, I think off-peak flipping is now going to be real meta as far as profit per hour goes. I think it's going to make maybe 3 times the difference, honestly, with how much you're going to make per hour, depending on how many people are online. You obviously want less people online to get larger margins because there's less volume. That way you have more control over that specific trade, that specific item at the time you're flipping it. Again, it's just really interesting. I mean, I'm still working through it and trying to figure it out myself. So if you guys have any insight for me, I'd love to hear it. But I'll give you the best insight I can as we're working through it. Let me see an SGS flip, my boy. Oh, we can try to get one going. Don't you worry. It's an item I have on my list for today, so we should be able to get through that. Can you guys hear the music okay? I think it was too quiet. Sorry about that. Corey Smith says, when are the high GP items going to have a good margin? They will never have a good margin again. Well, as good as they used to be. They still have decent margins as of right now, just not as good as we're used to. Like, I'm looking at the Scythe of Vitur, like, 300k margin, like 575 mil at stake for a 300k margin. That's not worth it, you know? It's a lot of these situations where it's like such a good margin, but it's just not worth flipping anymore. We're going to sell this Elysian Spirit Shield for a little bit less. We were a little bit too high on the margin there, so we're going to bring that down a little bit. Nice. We got the Ancestral Row bottom off. We're going to cycle back into those, actually at a cheaper price. And we'll try to get a few of those going here. We'll get 4 of them going. Don't know if that's going to buy or not, but I do think it's trending in a downward direction, so we'll try to pick up a few at that price level. Try to support that item a little bit. We'll go in for the Zamorakian Spear as well in the meantime. Burning Clip says, how's the new flipping going? It's interesting. I mean, it's very difficult, especially right now. I mean, we're in a prime time right now, so it's very, very competitive. I have to stay way on top of my flips, which I'm not used to. I mean, I'm used to just setting flips, kicking back, enjoying it with you guys, but that's not really the case anymore. I have to stay very on top of my flips, and if I don't, I'm gonna, miss out on potential GP per hour, right? So we're trying to keep focused here. We did get the face guard off as soon as we canceled the offer to buy a few more, so that is what it is. And I think we're going to go in for the, let's try the Freminate Guild, actually. Actually, I don't really want to do that. It's just too slow, I think, in my opinion. We might be able to get a little bit better of a margin on something else. Try the Grazi here. My high GP would be like 15 to 30 mil. What's the strategy then? So if you're flipping with like 15 to 30 mil items, it's still the same strategy as before. The only thing that really changes is like high volume stuff and what you do with that. It's still the same strategy, but what you do is you use the wiki information as your price listing. You also want to have GE tracker or some price tracking graph up on the side of the item. That way you can tell where the item is trending in the short term. That way, at the same time, you're not buying in for too high of a price or selling for too low of a price. That's just a very important aspect of all of this, is thinking of trends and direction on these items. Something that will improve over time as these new resources adapt the information, adapt the new data. But you need to keep it in mind, because what a lot of people are doing, I think, is they're seeing these massive swings in these items, these massive margins pop up. And as soon as like a margin that's really good pops up, tons of people swarm on the item, right? Because, you know, there's probably lists being made where people can see where the good items are. They hop right into that item, doesn't go anywhere, there's too much competition, eventually probably crashes on them. So you really need to keep in mind just the trend of items in this meta. I think it's kind of a next step for a lot of flippers, that now that, you know, beforehand, you know, yes, it was good to learn these things, but it wasn't necessary. Now, I think it's becoming more of a necessary thing, and it's going to make you a better flipper if you do understand these things. So, again, we'll have plenty of guides on it, guys. I know there's probably tons of questions on it. We'll have something a little bit more comprehensive, more thought out for you guys to enjoy. Flipper says, hi. Good to see you, Flipper. I like the name, dude. Appreciate that. We always love flipping here, so let's try like a high-volume item. I just want to see how it's kind of working these days. Hopefully, we can still fill a limit with relative ease. I think it will be the case, but I'm going to do a manual check because it's so cheap. See if we can hit that. We'll keep an eye on our prices here. Oh, yeah, we had that Ancestral Robot listed for pretty low, so we'll be patient with that one. Heck says, honestly, that's been my approach so far, hitting the margin 1,000 times ASAP on semi-commons as I'm faster, if that makes sense. Oh, yeah, 100% makes sense. You're trying to snipe that flip in and out. Kira says, weird times to be a flipper. No kidding. Fantastic speaker. Thank you, Wuggy. Do appreciate it. Sometimes I get a little rambly with my thoughts, but you know, the message and the passion is always there, if we want to put it that way. Do Primordial right now? I'm scared. I'm scared to do some items. But anyway. We'll do them. Oh, wait. We can only do, like, one pair. We'll try it. And we'll cycle out of some other stuff here that's taking a little bit too long. I don't think we want to sit on these Ancestral Robotums for too long, or the pickaxes, really, but I'm more willing to sit on the pickaxes just because they're going to take a while regardless, so... Man, some of these margins are just crumbling on us. Let's see... Oh, that's a great one right there. I just found a good one. It's funny because now we don't go through like the margin checking process, so I don't usually like put commentary on the items when I'm listing them now because I'm pulling them off from the site. I don't want people to jump in front of me and snipe them, so... But yeah, that was another thing that was kind of not the best news for me, is now that real-time price information is available, anybody on the stream can see what item I'm flipping, obviously, because they can look at it, and they can, at the same time, go ahead and look at the item's price, and it's just not a great situation for me, so, it feels bad, man. It's okay, Corey. We all get a little rambly sometimes. Good to see you, Gem. Thank you for tuning in today, Gem. I keep missing your streams. I do apologize for that. Let's see. We didn't flip any arcanes, did we? I think we tried. Having patience is key, though. because you don't want to dump something for too low of a price. Honestly, I think the new meta caters to people who have significant active flipping skills, in the sense that they can, and have a large cash tax, right? To where they can buy the short-term supply of an item and kind of drive the price from that. I think that's where really people are going to succeed. People with large cash tax, for example, someone buys like 16 Grazis in 2 minutes, like that's a huge pickup of supply in the short term. So anyway, I can probably explain that better another time, but just people like driving item price, if that makes sense. Multiple items unless instant just won't buy. Exactly, man. Yeah, that's true, heck. Like, you can list one item, and as soon as it buys, you list even higher, because you know someone has that price information already, so it's like, you have to avoid it. 100%. Heck, I think you're 100% on the money with that one. Just blur the entire GE window, but then where's the content, you know? Anyway, Z French, thank you for the follow over on Twitch. We do appreciate it. Welcome to the flipping team. Oh, sorry, that was a YouTube subscription. Sorry. Well, welcome to YouTube, man. Thank you for being my 4,001th subscriber. So we just hit 4,000 subscribers today, guys. Very happy about that. And it's crazy what's going on here on the channel. So Legacy Production says, so is everyone just going to look up item prices on the wiki? Yes, and that's going to be the new meta for flipping 100%, which is, I mean, I'll let you decide in your own mind if you think that's good or bad. But Keith Rowley says, howdy, good to see you, Keith. Personally, I don't think it's great. AUS Gold giving us a follow over on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the flipping team. And let's try to flip some things, man. I mean, we've been trying. It just hasn't been easy necessarily. We did get a Spirit Shield as well, though, so that's good. No luck on the Lances yet. It's crazy. Like, people just jump in with, like, such a high listing. Like, how am I supposed to get my item if you're jumping in this high? Come on. Let's go ahead and get another 4 of those Lances rocking here. We do have 266 million GP on hand. I think we're going to go in and do the Abyssal Bludgeon with that. So what I like to do, I do like to list more than one on the Grand Exchange, because if you're only flipping a few items, it's pretty easy to track when the price moves on something. It's hard for me to do on stream because you know, obviously I'm very distracted by talking to chat, just, you know, putting on a good performance for you guys, and just talking through flipping, which keeps me fairly distracted on these things. So, as much as I'd like to do that, it just is not as simple as it sounds. Let's go back and try to sell this Lance back. Darren Hawkins says, can you do a noob guide on how to use GE Tracker? Absolutely, I can do that. Is GE Tracker going to die? No, GE Tracker is going to adapt the new Runelite price information into their graphs as well, so they won't die. Saints Fan in Van says, what percentage of the OSR's community do you think... Sorry, I totally brain farted there. Okay, uses flipping as their primary moneymaker. Oh my god, okay. I had to reword it. It didn't make sense in my brain. But anyway, I would say probably between 5 and 8%. Like, probably, maybe less. I have no idea. I don't think it's over 10%, to be quite honest. I could be wrong, but... G-Tracker is usually like 10 minutes late, but soon it will be instant. Yep. That's what's exciting in my opinion. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see, right? That new price data on those graphs. That's going to be really awesome going forward. The reason it's so amazing is sorry, let me just list this. The reason it's so awesome is because now you're going to have super accurate information for shorter term swing trades as well as overnight trades. You're going to have really accurate information so you know exactly what the item did. And you're not going to see these huge like dips anymore, which do occasionally happen on GE Tracker. Probably 2,500 people, roughly, based on Flipping Utilities Discord. Yeah, but not everyone uses flipping utilities. Some people do overnight flipping. Some people never active flip. There's like a lot of little elements that go into flipping. Like, I think a lot of people flip on the side, to be quite honest. Like, they don't use it as their primary moneymaker, but they use it around like updates, or they try to make a little bit of money overnight with flipping. And trust me, I'm a big proponent of using flipping as a passive moneymaker as well. I don't think it has to be your main source, but you should know when it comes down to it how to use the Grand Exchange to make money. Because if you figure out how to trade items back and forth effectively and you can make profit doing so, that is what's going to set you up as one of for success in RuneScape, right? Because not only are you going to know how to grow basically any amount of cash. For example, if you get hacked or something happens to your cash stack, you get PK'd in the wilderness, whatever it is, you get scammed, you're going to know how to rebuild along the way. And it doesn't matter on stats, it doesn't matter anything like that. But even if flipping is not your primary moneymaker, then you can use it on the side to make additional income. You can realize situations where you manage your money to save money in certain situations, maybe with crashes, or you know the best time to buy gear because you're so in tune with the prices, you know when to buy, or when something's cheaper than it relatively is. Good, you make opportunities with investments. Whatever the case may be, flipping is way more advanced than people give it credit for. I mean, most people at the surface, they know about flipping, but they think it's so they think of it as the most basic level, trading items back and forth. And in reality, it goes way deeper than that. There's so much that goes into flipping, you have no idea. Like, on these streams, we scratch the surface of flipping. I mean, there's passive flipping, overnight flipping, swing flipping, or trading is usually what people call it. Investments, there's so many other things you can do with your cash stack. Wuggy says, I see videos of people flipping overnight, but they never go into detail. I'm afraid prices will drop when I'm asleep. We do have 2 overnight flipping guides on the channel if you would like to check them out. Hopefully, maybe they're better than the other ones. We'll have to see. I'll let you be the judge of that. But that's always a risk. I mean, items can drop overnight. That's a risk you take with overnight flipping. Nothing with flipping is risk-free. I mean, making money on the Grand Exchange has never been risk-free. It's always something where there is some inherent risk with it, but the game is all about, managing your risk, not taking too much risk for your cash stack, spreading your money out across multiple items so it's not as risky. There's definitely ways to manage your risk, but it's never been a risk-free game. Looks like this Elysian's coming down on us. We gotta be careful about that. Definitely we're still in profit range on that Elysian, but we need to just watch that closely. Everything is a risk no matter the price. Exactly, right? Exactly. Nailed it on the head with that one. Going to look for some more items for us to take advantage of here, guys. And we did get all the lances off, which is great. We're going to go back in and try to get a few more of them here. Hopefully at the same price. We'll have to see. Yep, looks like they are buying at the exact same price. Good to see that. Pretty standard day for us at the exchange today. It's actually, we're getting some luck here at the end, which is good. Still wishing we have, made a little bit more here. I think we're just flipping at a super competitive time. I honestly think that's the issue now. Whereas before we could get away with it because we had hidden margins and things like that. But now things are just super, super competitive, which is not a bad thing. It's just the nature of the landscape we live in now. But don't worry, we'll find some more items that'll have some potential profit for us. I'm not too worried as of yet. Let's see, try to hunt something good here. I'm trying to figure out where the Spectral's trading at. Wait, this spectral margin is really weird right now. Your buy stack should be 1 to 2 items max as margins change so quickly. Dude, absolutely. Margins change so fast. Now, I'm going to have to adapt to that in my upcoming streams because it's not something I'm really doing right now. I haven't been doing it on the side because my flipping strategy on the side now that is working for me is I flip really large items and I just get like 4 or 5 of them going, and then I constantly look at the prices to see what they're doing. If I'm not exactly on margin, it's not the end of the world, especially with some of this really low volume stuff, but I track the price movement on the side. I try to figure out where these things are going, and I think it's way easier to do that with less items. Now, prior to this, right, I would try to spread my money out across multiple items because that's a risk mitigation technique. The more items you're flipping, the less risky it is because it's kind of like strength in numbers, right? I don't think I really need to explain that. Anyway, now because flipping is so competitive, to get the edge, you have to narrow your focus down. You have to focus on 2 items or 2 items, 3 items, 4 items, and really try to hit solid margins on that. You got to track the margin constantly, which it's not, you know, in my opinion, it's more annoying, but I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying it's a different type of flipping that it's the new age of flipping. I mean, this is the reality, boys. Whether we like it or not, this is how it's going to be, so we got to get used to it. And there are little tips and tricks that you can use within that to, you know, still make profit or still not be as active on your flips. There are little tips like that, but it's definitely a tough situation as of right now, just trying to adjust to things. We have had some people making a lot of good money, though, and honestly, I think one of the most important things, I know I've said this a few times, but it's essential now that you try to flip during off-peak times. I mean, we're at a peak time right now. There's so much competition on things, and it's been like this every night. But when I've had off-peak sessions, I've been making a good amount of JP still. So it's all about locating the items you like, you know, constantly checking up on them, checking price movements, and flipping during low competitive times because that's a huge difference right now. I mean, I cannot describe to you how much of a difference that makes. Anyway. Escape, how does the new price update work? Where do you see the RuneLite-based pricing? If you go on the old school RuneScape wiki and you scroll down to where the price graph is, you could actually see live price information right there. You just have to refresh it and it shows you on the item. It says the buy price and the sell price. Super easy. Some margins will disappear and then 5 minutes later reappear. Oh, absolutely, heck. People are literally just jumping over each other and losing a ton of margin in seconds sometimes. Oh yeah, people completely jump on these items, and that's why I'm saying, like, sometimes just leave your offer there. Sometimes you just wait 5 minutes, it's gonna fill again. And I think a lot of people just try to jump the gun on that, and they're missing out because they're rotating away from these items that the margin just collapses on. You could potentially be missing money that way. So now the flippers actually have to play the game. That's not true. It's just, listen, there's going to be a large rotation of individuals, myself included, who are now going to, you know, my strategy is no longer to active flip all the time. I do it, I love doing these streams, so I'm going to keep trying to do them, see if we can still make money this way, but there might be a time where it's just not worth doing anymore. I mean, we're only up 2.3 mil in almost an hour, which is not good for me. So, again, like, and maybe active flipping is not the best strategy for me anymore. And, you know, it's all about adapting, right? I think my strategy is now more focused on what can I do in a 4 to 6 hour time frame? What can I do in a 12-hour time frame or a month time frame? What about investments? Maybe that's something we have to look further into. Maybe we just need better, you know, we need to research items better. We need to see where prices are moving and really try to capitalize on longer term gains, because that's where I think the best price movements will be. Not the best price movements, the best profits will be. And I think a movement into that sector is going to benefit everybody. So again, just my 2 cents on the matter. I don't think active flipping is dead. I do think it is hurt, but this rotation into longer term flipping it's gonna be a challenge. But if you guys stick with it, you guys learn how to do it, you're gonna make a lot of money that way, I promise. Because if anything, longer term flipping has been improved by the accuracy of the data. So one area loses active flipping while the other area gains overnight and longer term flipping and investments. There's always an upside, guys. I'm trying to keep a very positive mindset about this because, you know, I really do think this is not the end for us. I really do think that there's other strategies you can use to still make a lot of money flipping. I mean, if you don't believe me, just go check out our Discord group. We have people posting in there, literally in hashtag good flips in that section all day long. And we still have people hitting like 2 to 3 mil to 5 mil flips. I mean, it's still there. The potential is definitely still there. It's going to be that focus on that off-peak time if you're active flipping. It's as simple as that. Longer time frames or off-peak flipping is going to be meta. Escape, try smaller items like 100 to 120k or so. I'll definitely give them a shot. Heck, the thing is, on stream, I just try to keep very consistent because it's just what I'm used to, the same items over and over, and I don't like to explore too much, especially since I'm still exploring things on my end with this new meta. But off stream, if you think that's what I should try out, I will definitely investigate into it and try to flip that, and try to flip with lower items, lower stacks, whatever it is. Trust me, there's plenty more discovery to come with these margins, or just these new methods. Oh my god. So the wiki hasn't been integrated to the GE plugin on RuneLite. No, the wiki has been integrated. RuneLite is integrated with the Osrs wiki. So RuneLite, their Grand Exchange plugin, is going to track your trades and send them to the Osrs wiki. So your data from the GE plugin goes to the Osrs wiki. Kidding, I managed to end this week with 75 mil starting from 32 mil just flipping. Holy moly. That's some good gains right there. Over 100% return, so very nice. Fabled Melon says, decent strategy to tighten margin and hope it breaks downwards, catch panic dumps. That's true too. That's a little bit more of an advanced technique that I personally have never really utilized, but I do know about it. And a lot of people do that. One thing, well, a lot of people like to buy in a bunch and then trade a smaller margin so they can sell it off. It's not that easy, but anyway, that's more of an advanced strategy, Fabled. If you're using that, I mean, you're definitely an advanced flipper, so we'll put it that way. Are you able to opt out of them sending your data? Chris Chris, excuse me. Good to see you, man. Yes, you are able to opt out. How you opt out is you disable the Grand Exchange plugin on RuneLite and your trades will not be tracked. If you want to opt out of it, that's completely on you. That's fine. I definitely recommend it if you are a flipper because you don't want your prices being shared. That being said, even if you opt out of it, if another player you're trading to has not opted out of it, your prices are still going to get tracked. Sam says, yo, it's my first time catching a stream. What is good, G? You taught me how to flip. Now I'm up at least 100 mil. Sam, so happy to hear that, man. So you're going to pay me those tax dollars or what? I mean, I taught you how to flip. You know, you can send me a couple mil if you want. Just kidding, of course. I'm glad, dude, I'm glad you flipped up to 100 mil, man. Congrats on that. That was all on you. You put in the work. You stuck around for the streams. You learned how to do it. Congratulations. You will reap the rewards. Let me know if you have any other questions about what to flip, Sam. I'll help you out. C9 says, hey, bro, I'm learning how to flip. What items to flip? Appreciate your job, and thanks. The videos help me out a lot, so thanks. No problem, C9. Glad I've been helping you out, man. It seems like you're doing the right thing, man. You're learning how to flip, what items to flip, and you appreciate my work. So, again, do appreciate it, man. And hopefully your flipping journey is going well. Let me know if you have any questions about what to flip. Also, guys, if you're not with us on Discord, I highly, highly recommend joining. I know you hear me saying, like, oh, he wants me to join their Discord group. He must be promoting something. I'm really not. I just think the Discord group is an amazing place for people to learn how to flip with their cash stack. We're over 2,000 members now. We're all adjusting to the new meta of flipping, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. I mean, we have people posting in there literally 24/7 with great flips they're hitting, great techniques they're using, things like that. And dude, there's some super helpful people in there. I mean, shout out to some of you guys that have been super dedicated to that group because, like, it means so much, man. Some of you are so into it. You're so into it, like, it's as much as I'm into it, really. Like, it's crazy. So thank you for your participation in there, guys. Partnership with Raid Shadow Legends when? Fabled, I hope soon, man. Hey, we just hit 4K subscribers. I mean, it's coming soon, you know? Wouldn't that be legendary, man? Wouldn't that be insane? If I got sponsored by them, crazy. But they have to have a good player market on there, or I can't, you know, I can't sponsor, you know? Just kidding, of course, but... Imagine you see me with a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor on a video. That would be some next level content. These Spectral Spirit Shields are buying very quickly. I think we're actually catching a dump on these, which is good. I do think these will recover over the next 30 or 40 minutes or so. So we should be good on those. It just went from 114 mil to 135 mil in almost 5 hours. This is crazy. Flipper, oh my god, man. Man is on some crazy gains right now. Congrats to you, dude. Let's go ahead and try to flip some of these items around, guys. And let's get these bludgeons around as well. Hopefully we're still good on those, because we did leave them for a while. Sorry, I'm so focused on flipping now, like I can't commentate the whole time. I mean, I have to look back and forth. It screws me up, man. Can I flip if I only have 8 mil in my bank? Yes, Ishe, I think that's how I say your name. You can, but it is very difficult, not gonna lie, especially with this new meta. We have Wild Muffin. He says, "What's up, Scape? Good to see you, Wild Muffin. Thank you for tuning in, man. I always miss your icon when you're not here, you know, the cat. It's amazing. Anyway. Wiki says, I'm doing margin checks compared to the real-time wiki, and the margin checks seem more accurate than the wiki. They are more accurate. You know, margin checks will always be more accurate than the wiki. The problem is, if you margin check, the price could update on the wiki, and then you're screwed. What are your thoughts on real-time prices on Osrs Wiki? Hurts active flipping, helps longer-term flipping. Definitely changed the landscape of flipping actively forever, basically. So there's a new way you can go about this. Jay Hefner says, what's up, Scape? A little bit late to the stream. Happy weekend. Jay, you can say that again, man. Happy weekend to you as well, man. And hopefully you're having a great Friday. Nothing else to say. Thank you for tuning in, even though you're a little bit late. You could say this flip is like the GME stocks, right? A little different, but sure. Yeah, same concept. Also, margin checks equal 2 flips to need to become profitable. That is another huge part of it, right? If you can avoid a margin check, you're avoiding the Grand Exchange tax. So, hey, the Grand Exchange clerks might be coming after us, guys, okay? You're not paying your taxes, all right? They might. I'm just saying, you know. Oh, God. LE crashing, question mark? We're going to leave it where it is, but it's not looking great, guys. I already tried prims. We can't even get them off, man. So sad. I mean, I want to get these prims stole off, but they will not cooperate. We'll listen for a little bit lower. I think we can actually get them off for a lower price. LE margin probably got cut. It's a little bit worse than just a cut, actually. So the LE is actually coming down right now. We're currently, from the buy price, the way it looks like right now, we're currently down 3 mil on it. But these things fluctuate a lot, so if we just wait, we'll be fine. Trust me. Like over a 24-hour period, the LE is traded between like $1.04 billion and $1.08 billion, and it just always like has been fluctuating around there. Well, not always, but the past couple of days it has. So I have high confidence that that's going to sell where it is, since we're at the lower end anyway. So I'm just going to leave it. Try some high-end potions. I could. Long day at work. Good to see the Miller latte. What is wrong with you, Jay? Primordial's been worn so much they smell and no one wants them anymore. Yo, why is everyone hating on me at the end? Come on, man. Ravers G, good to see you. Thank you for popping in as well. And yeah, I'm just trying to get some flips moved through here at the end, man. No luck on them quite yet. And besides these Ceratoma God Swords, surprisingly working out for us. And the Ancestral Rope Top. Hey, we'll take it. What is up with these Spectrals? Super odd. Let's try to get these off on the upper end. See where they're trading around. It's not even a big margin on them anymore. That's the problem. No good margins for us here at the end of the stream today. Very sad. Honestly, we didn't really do that great today as far as flipping goes. I mean, 2.7 mil, it's not really amazing. We're going to be able to get this LA off for the price. We don't want to freak out on that one. I think we'll be fine there. But I honestly, just my thoughts here in summary, I think flipping it off peak times is going to be a lot more valuable going forward. I think adjusting your strategy to incorporate more longer term time frames is going to be huge as well. Not just standing at the Grand Exchange all day and flipping items back and forth, really doing analysis on items, looking at the price graphs and seeing like, hey, I think this might go up in the future. That's going to be huge. Just doing your own analysis. And don't worry, guys. I'll walk you through how to do it. We already have some videos on how to utilize the price graphs and how to read information off them. So you can go on the YouTube channel and check it out if you like. On top of that as well, I just think that, honestly, keeping a good attitude about this is the best way to go about it, because I know a lot of you have been discouraged because, man, real-time price information, it's so competitive now. Don't worry, we're going to figure out a way to trade this effectively, and we have a great team together, guys. The Discord group is an amazing way to kind of group together and share information as well. So, you know, I'm talking with you guys on how you're doing it. I'm exploring it on my own. We're going to find out the way to trade this, guys. Don't you worry. We always have in the past, and we always will in the future. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up here today. Be sure to drop a like over on YouTube if you haven't dropped a like already. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So I hope you did enjoy it. We had a little bit of a beer today celebrating 4,000 subscribers, and honestly, it's been a great stream regardless of the profits. 2.74 mil today in this competitive environment we are in with the real-time price data. And Turtle Dove, I think, is giving us a follow over on Twitch. Thank you for the follow as well. Anyway, Scapenomics here, signing off for today, guys. Have a great weekend. I don't know if we're going to go live tomorrow. We're 50-50 on going live. I do want to make some content that is not live streams, so some video content as well, and kind of explore this new meta. So I don't know if we'll go live tomorrow. It really depends. I also want to record that new series as well. Whew, I got to get on my upload grind, guys. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in today. Drop a like if you enjoyed. You know, join our Discord, give us a follow on Twitch, whatever you have to do, just support the content in some way is all I ask. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Have a great Friday, and I'll see you all in the next one.